Good morning. My guest this morning and my first guest is Beverly Fletcher, who is the district governor for 9 Southwest District of the Lions Club International, correct?
Right, of really Lions clubs in Iowa.
Okay, wonderful. And that district is a 20-county district.
Correct.
Yes. Welcome, Beverly. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad I get to have you as my first guest. I enjoyed meeting you yesterday at the Lions Club meeting. So give a little overview about the Lions Club, what it is, and the services that the Lions Club provides.
Lions clubs of the world are affiliated with Lions Clubs International, and we are one of the largest service organizations around the world. I belong to the Council Bluffs Lions Club that I joined after I retired from teaching, and there I serve as the club secretary. I have served as the 9 Southwest District Secretary, and this is my first year as being, probably first and only year as being the district governor. And what I visited with Carlene yesterday was about KidsSight. Iowa has a very unique program called Iowa KidsSight, and it is free to parents, free to public schools, parochial schools, daycares. It's a joint project of the Lions Clubs of Iowa and the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Science from the University of Iowa Steed Family Children's Hospital.
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. So in the sense, it's Iowa Lions, Iowa Lions KidsSight, and different clubs work with them. And our purpose is Lion volunteers will take pictures of children's eyes, and we send the pictures to University of Iowa. They have trained staff that look at the pictures and determine if the child's eyes are healthy or if we need to do a second screening or send them to an eye doctor for further diagnosis.
The interesting thing that came up yesterday was all of the conditions that you're screening for, as well as all of the conditions that have come up that weren't being screened for. So this has really turned into a free preventative medicine.
Right.
So tell a little bit about what exactly they are screening for. Many children end up on an IEP, which is an individual education program, when it could have been circumvented with an eye test.
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of times the school nurses, being in education, a retired educator for 39 years, the school nurses would do an eye screening, and for the little children, kindergarten and first, who can't read, it would be a letter E, and they would have to use their hand and point either going up, right, left, or down.
I think
determine if they could read that chart.
We all remember that chart.
And I'm sure that when you go to the doctor's office, when they do the eye test, it's letters of the alphabet that you have to try to read. Now they're putting letters and numbers.
Yeah.
So why are we doing this? When you think of the children, this KidsSight screening can take children from 6 months of age through the year 6 years, or we say 6 months through kindergarten. And that's our target group. Because a child at that age does not know if they really, what they're supposed to see. I can give an example. My mother argued with my older brother and said, well, why didn't you tell me you couldn't see the barn? And he said, you always told me when I got older I could do certain things. So I thought when I got older I could eventually see the barn.
Oh my goodness, isn't that amazing? Well, that's a perfect
So
illustration.
parents might think, oh, they want glasses because their friends have glasses or they saw a cute pair to play with, and they don't realize that the child definitely has an eye problem. So some of the things that we can determine with this eye screen camera is the lazy eye, anoscoria, where the pupils are not the same size, if two eyes are different, refractive power, astigmatism, farsighted, nearsightedness, cataracts, when the eyes don't line up properly, and any other refractive errors can be identified early, and that's when the treatment is most effective. So if we can help children preschool age or younger through kindergarten, then we really have them ready to learn to read.
Yeah. That's wonderful. You know, the interesting thing that I learned yesterday from your presentation was that this is an Iowa state law, that these children have to be screened for sight for starting school. And that can be a burden on a lot of parents.
So the Iowa law is requiring vision screening for children and primarily found in Iowa Code Section 135.3D, which is for vision screening, along with other administrative rules. So parents are supposed to ensure that the child is screened before enrollment to kindergarten. Like in the past, you had to bring in immunization records and things when you did the registration. So by going into the schools in preschool and kindergarten, we're helping the parents out free of charge of getting this screening done during kindergarten. And a parent could start a child at age 1. We could come back and do them again the next year, every year through kindergarten, and then from there on, it would be the responsibility of the parent.
Now, you actually have an ophthalmologist that is a member of the Council Bluffs Lions Club, correct?
Dr. Barry Jose that has his own business where they're checking the eyes and then also can fit people with glasses. Lions Clubs also collect used glasses, and they get them determined what the
prescription is.
What the prescription is, and then he can use some of those to give for people that do not have insurance, or we send them off that they can be boxed and sent to foreign countries.
Oh, wow.
And now they're doing things even faster in that area. But we're working for 9 Southwest, hopefully up at Audubon and Exira, where we can take these used glasses and those volunteers can try to put the prescription on and diagnose following criteria what the used glasses are, so they're ready to be shipped out.
Okay, very nice. You know, I want to come back to KidsSight, but before we do that, talk a little bit about the hearing aids that you discussed yesterday. I know that's just another subject, but it's just an idea of what you're doing.
I might have retired from teaching, but I've taken on a few other jobs. I have a daughter that at the age of 2 was having a fluctuating hearing loss. And it was finally determined that she was what we call as a one-eared child, can only hear out of one ear.
Oh, my goodness.
And we did not know if she was going to be losing her hearing totally. So we put her by age 3 in preschool, and also worked with Iowa School for the Deaf. So Cindy was doing both preschools at ISD, half day, and then the public preschool. She did kindergarten the same way. They've had her fitted with hearing aids. By fourth grade, they were doing something different for her because of her fluctuating loss. And you would not know that she's a fluent lip reader
Oh
for
my,
anybody.
yeah.
The thing is, but she no longer wears the hearing aid, but she is educated. She's a mechanical engineer by training, working for a distinguished company that has contracts probably around the world
Oh,
and
that's
things.
wonderful.
But
Yeah.
she can do things. So what we do with the hearing aids, I'll
The-
get back to the topic.
This is actually, I'm glad that you talked about that, because what you've just outlined is the reason for this pre-screening.
Right.
Look what she did with her life because you were able to address that
Okay.
issue.
And we used to have a private hearing aid company in Council Bluffs. That person retired. I contacted Boys Town, and so we worked directly with Boys Town in Council Bluffs or Boys Town Hospital in Omaha, and we take people from 9 Southwest, and I can get you reconditioned hearing aids for $200, and it's mainly paying for the testing with audiologists, ordering our used hearing aids, and helping you the first steps getting along with the hearing aids. And the Lions come through and we help out, usually paying $50 towards it. So it comes down to about $150 for a pair of hearing aids that reconditioned. They only might last 2 or 3 years, but you can apply again. That's cheaper than $4,000 or $5,000
At
for
least.
a pair of
At
hearing
least,
aids.
yeah.
So not just Council Bluffs, but I help out Glenwood Lions, Missouri Valley Lions, Neola Lions, and 9 Southwest. I have the district, since I'm the district governor, we are doing any of them around in our district. If they want to come through Council Bluffs, I will funnel in for the hearing aids.
Wonderful. So who is eligible for these hearing aids? Anyone? Any
Anyone.
age?
You have to fill out information,
Okay.
especially if they're school age. We help even further. But you fill out the information. We usually are working with a lot of senior citizens on Social Security with
Oh,
limited
that's wonderful.
things. So
yeah.
you have to give us your birth date, what you're drawing from retirement funds or Social Security, and it determines if you have a very low amount of Social Security earlier years where you're in upper 80s and 90s, we even pay more for your hearing aid bill.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. So,
that is
there
two
are
things.
parameters
There
involved.
are parameters. So
yeah.
we not only are doing vision with KidsSight for the young children, for people, for example, homeless or senior citizens, limited budget, needing their glasses. If we can fit you with a reconditioned pair of glasses, we would go that way, or we help reduce the price with Lions. So there's multiple factors that we do with the Lions Club.
The organization is doing such great work, Beverly.
It's sort of like a secret unless people hear about it.
Exactly. That's why you're here today.
That's why I'm here today.
So let's get back to KidsSight and let's talk about the initiative for fundraising that's going on now, because they're adopting new technology and these new cameras have become available. Tell a little bit about that background and about the support behind these cameras. And also, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about the numbers in the counties and how many children have been screened this year.
About November 13th is when I got my email from Iowa KidsSight saying they will only support our current cameras for up to 2 more years, December 31st, 2027. And they told us about the new photo screener and what they have, that it's more modern. We don't have to take multiple pictures. And just like the KidsSight's been going on probably close to 20 years in Iowa, or Council Bluffs being involved, our first cameras use Polaroid film. And if any of you are familiar with Polaroid, we'd take a picture, we'd have to wait the so many seconds, 1 or 2 minutes.
And wag it while
wag it and dry it and open it up. And then if it was bad, you threw that away and you took another picture. And we'd have to send in 2 to 4 pictures from the Polaroid for each child.
So did that big square flash bulb go off in
Yes.
people's face too? Oh my goodness.
So that was our first camera. Then we went to what we're currently using now. We got ours in about 2012.
Oh, okay.
And that camera is aging out.
Oh my, yeah, that's a long time in technology.
And things. So this is why we're looking for the new camera. Of course, just like cars, they're doing a special that if we could have ordered the cameras by December 31st, we would have so much money off in comparison. So being the district governor and working with my cabinet, we decided we were going to put district funds that we have in our account, along with having clubs raising funds to buy the cameras. So each camera, at a reduction of, let's say, $500 off the normal price, we'll be paying $8,745 per camera that we can buy between now and June 30th.
Okay,
And
so
then that's what our goal is working on right now. We've contacted Lions International, and we are applying for a vision grant, and we have to raise at least $10,000. That's the minimum. We can go more than that. And being from the United States, this vision grant supports in buying equipment, which these cameras are equipment,
yes.
that they would pay half the expense.
Okay, so a matching
if we can
funds
raise
grant.
$10,000, we apply for the vision grant. We have to apply by February 1. We find out first part of May, and then order the cameras and get them in the month of June.
Gosh.
So we're looking to buy 10 to 12 cameras, but we really have to raise money of the costs for at least 6 or 7.
I understand. Yes, I understand.
So an idea.
But this is covering, what you're raising money for is to cover all 20 counties, right?
Right, to cover 20 counties.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about what the numbers look like in these counties in your district. And I think these are proud numbers. I think these are very proud numbers, especially that this many children are being served and families are being served in this area.
I asked Iowa KidsSight in late November to send me the list of the clubs and the number of children that they worked with of the screening. And it's outstanding. There were 203 screenings from July 1 through December 31st. So let's say July 1 to December 15th. Let's be realistic.
Okay.
Because schools closed, they wouldn't be
right.
in. Of the 203 sessions, we screened 3,228 children. Now remember,
Wow.
When we go into the schools, the parents have to fill out a form and sign that they approve for us to take these pictures. If there's a problem, parents are notified directly from Iowa Lions.
Wonderful.
A KidsSight.
Okay.
And then they also have lists of doctors that they can send them the list of who to go see for the next step for their children. Of the 3,228 children we screened, 411 were referred in the 6-month time period. And we had 91 pictures unreadable. That means for me, for Council Bluffs, we had 11 unreadable. I'm going out to the schools now to retest those those children taking at least 2 to 3 pictures and sending so they can have a readable picture. The new cameras will be able to tell us if the picture is readable or not readable while you have the child in front of you.
Oh my,
So that would
that's
save the
huge.
step of having to
That's
go back
huge.
in.
Yes, yes. But your commitment to following up on that
The following
is
up
admirable.
is important.
Yes.
So we currently have 12 cameras in Zone 1, which is Harrison, Pottawatomie, Mills, Montgomery, Fremont, and Page, those 6 counties. We had Council Bluffs alone screened 735 children this fall.
That's a good use of that camera.
Missouri Valley has done 60 so far.
Okay.
Glenwood, 57. Villisca area of Montgomery goes down to Page. Mills goes down to Fremont County. They've done 627.
Montgomery and Page County are doing those
They will
numbers.
be involved,
Wow.
even though they don't have
Okay.
a Lions Club. Lions Clubs will go to them.
Okay. Okay. And that Page County bleeds over into Fremont County as well because of that line being right there. So,
Right. So
right.
we do not exclude, if you do not have a Lions Club, we can still contact your schools, fill the forms out, and see if we can test your children.
That's wonderful.
That is our goal, is to help all children, give them a fair shake on life when they're in first grade, ready to learn to read, starting on learning the alphabet and the
Yes.
letters and the sounds, that children, and to being able to see the letters and distinguish one letter from another is so important in the reading process.
And what better person to do this but you, Beverly, having been a teacher at your career through retirement. And let's talk a little bit about your teaching career, what you taught. You mentioned it earlier as we were making introductions here.
Well, I started out in 6th grade and then went down and taught 6th grade, and then schools do lots of different things, team teaching. So I've done 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I was curriculum coordinator. We're writing grants for Lewis Central. And then turned around, and then later on they approached me. That was the time they had 3 elementary schools, 2 principals. And the 2 gentlemen said, we'd always be at the wrong school at the wrong time when a problem came up, and they'd have to call and get one of us to come in. So I was doing curriculum work at that time, and they moved me half-time curriculum, half-time principal, to have all my things in the smallest school, which is Lakeview, which is now Heartland Christian in Council Bluffs.
Oh, okay. That's where that was.
That was where
Very
I
interesting.
was.
Yeah,
And then later on, they saw the importance to go back and put a full-time principal, and then I became full-time principal at Central Elementary, and from there we went to learning centers, and Lewis Central still has learning centers. I was involved with that when you had, Lakeview became K1, Central was 2-3, CREF was 4-5. And I went back into the classroom, left principalship after 6 years, mainly for my family's sake. My father had health issues. He was a retired railroad person, and for 3 Sundays in a row, we had emergency surgery in January.
Oh, wow.
And it was that they finally he had breathing problems from being a farmer to working in the railroad and things. He was in intensive care for 5 months. He did survive. He lived for about another 1.5 years before he passed away. And I finally said, I could not deal with Dad in the hospital 5 months. I'm the only family member of brothers and sisters around here, being called in the middle of the night. They don't think he's going to make it. Take my mother to the hospital. We'd sit there an hour, 1.5 hours. He settled down. I'd take her back. She could go back to bed. I might be back in bed an hour having to get ready to go to work again. I could not keep up with that schedule.
That's a
so
tough.
I went back, and that's when I said, I'm going to go back in the classroom. I don't want to apply. I applied for a position within Lewis Central, and I went and started teaching third grade.
Oh, wonderful.
That's my little history.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing so much of your personal life with us, as well as your work with the Lions Club. You've been such an easy first interview for me. You just take off, and I didn't have to say very much here today, but I want to thank you, and I want to point out that for Mills County Roots, we want to highlight people like Beverly Fletcher, because she has been serving the community and serving children, and obviously serving her family her entire life. And we want to celebrate this. This is what community is all about. This is what.
Speaking for Mills County, visit with your Lions Club in Glenwood.
I'm looking forward to that.
In Glenwood, and seeing what you can do to help them. And I know they have been involved with something we call Souls for Souls. And that is collecting used shoes that can be sent to foreign countries like in Africa, and where people can start small businesses. Mm-hmm. And I know Reg Huckabut in Glenwood has been in charge of collecting the shoes. They also do screening of the children.
Okay.
And
they have a camera there, right?
They have
a camera there. So
we're out to try to raise funds for these 12 cameras.
Yes.
And such.
Well, I'm hoping that us getting the word out there helps you. Can you give a website or a place that people who are willing can donate?
If they're willing to donate, I would say I'm going to give you my phone number and my email, and you contact me and we can talk to you personally about where we should send the funds. I don't want to commit someone else over
Sure.
right now over the microphone. So again, my name's Beverly Fletcher, Fletcher. My cell number is 712-355-3529. My email is very simple. It's my initials, BAF for Beverly Ann Fletcher, CBIA for Council Bluffs, Iowa. So it's BAFCBIA@gmail.com.
Perfect. Simple and perfect. Beverly, thank you again for coming in today, and I'm so happy to meet you. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to see you wearing my little district governor pin.
Yes, I am wearing the pin that I was given yesterday when I spoke at your event.
And it's saying service in the Loess Hills.
Yes.
That's my goal this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you for joining us today on Mills County Roots.